Hey guys, Matt with CJ Off-Road here. Now today we've got our 2020 Willys up on the lift and we're going to be ditching the factory flares and adding on some brand new Rubicon fender flares. Here at CJ's we offer the Rubicon fender flares for both your 2-door and 4-door JL, either with the halogen lights or the LEDs. Now the ones we're installing today are takeoffs that we found locally, and we're going to be adding on a couple other small surprises to them, but this will be the exact same process if you were to purchase the factory ones right off of our site. Now we've got our Jeep up in the air here. You don't need to put it up on the lift, but it'll be a little bit easier for you to see what you guys are doing. So we're going to ditch these factory flares and add on some more clearance with the Rubicon flares. Let's get started. In order to remove the front flare, the only two tools you're going to need is going to be a 10mm deep socket and a Christmas tree removal tool or a trim panel removal tool like so. What we're going to do is go around and remove all the 10mm bolts. There's around 5 or 6 of them. There's a couple up front here. And then we're going to pull some Christmas trees out and pull the entire thing out as one unit after we disconnect the electrical plug in the back. It's really not that hard and takes about 5 minutes per flare. And then once you have all that off, you're going to have to kind of jerk the thing to get it out. And it's really going to be a little bit violent and you'll hear some crackling, but that's just a couple of the clips behind there. Don't worry, the new Mopar flares include everything that you need. So why don't we go ahead and we'll pull these flares off. So there are going to be 5 total bolts. There's 1 here, 2 here, and then 2 right up top. Use a 10mm socket to get those pulled off. And then a couple Christmas trees, you're going to have one right up front here onto the core support. You're going to have one right up here, and then there's going to be 1, 2, 3 right here. That'll be enough to pull the inner fender back far enough without completely removing it. That way we can disconnect the electrical plug, which is going to be right around here, back behind there. You'll pull the red tab and get that off. Let's get the Christmas trees removed, and then we can get that disconnected and pull this thing off. So pull all down like that. So as you can see, we've got the inner fender completely pulled down. We disconnected that plug by pulling this red tab back and then pushing on the small black section there. Once that's removed, all the bolts are removed. There's nothing else holding this on besides these white clips. Now what I like to do with these is I like to get this up into place and then I'll work from the back towards the front and just give it a straight out pull. Some of these clips are going to break, but like I said, don't worry, we have everything with. Just make sure you're doing a nice and even pull. That way you're not bending any of the tub here. And just like that, the whole fender will be removed. So the rear is pretty much going to be the exact same process. Besides there's no bolts to remove, we've only got the Christmas trees holding the rear on, and then we can pull the entire flare off. Now I would suggest if you are doing this, make sure you have a couple extra of these. The Mopar kit comes with them, but just in case you break them, you will have to pop them back out. I'm just going to use that trim removal tool, pull them all out here. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to remove, and then we can pull the whole thing out with the inner fender liner attached and get moving on to the other side. Same thing with up front. We want to go through and just pop this off. We're going to pull on it firmly and make sure it's nice and even. The back is a lot more sturdy than the front, so you don't really have to worry about bending any of that front fender, but we'll just go ahead and pop it off, see how many clips we can save, and we'll just go from there. Not too bad. Okay guys, now what we're going to do is go ahead and grab our rear Rubicon fender flare. We've got everything nice and cleaned up here too. If you've got an older JL or it's a year or two old, you're going to get a lot of debris underneath here. So definitely give it a quick wipe down with a little bit of soap and water and then get it nice and clean. What we're going to do first is go ahead and attach this piece. Now if you buy the Mopar Rubicon kit from our website, I believe they already come pre-attached with the rivets. Since we got these second-hand, they were hand-me-down from one of our other Jeeps. We pulled the inner fenders off, so we're going to actually need to reattach the inner fender liners. That'll be a separate step that you guys won't need to do if you buy them right from us. It'll all come all together and be ready to go for you. If you are, what you want to do is make sure all your white clips are in the back. They'll look good there. And then we're going to line this up to the holes. Start from the back. And I like to go through one by one and feel to make sure each one goes into its location. So now the fender is nice and firm onto there. What we're going to do now is go ahead and attach our inner fender liner and hook the rivets onto there. You don't need to see that, yours are already going to be on. After you do that, go ahead and grab your push pins and put them in all the locations that you pulled them off. There's 7 in total, and then you'll be good to go to move on to the front. So same thing up front. If you do buy the kit right from us, you're gonna just directly be able to put it right on there. The only thing I will say is to connect your wiring harness right into this plug before you do so. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and attach this. You can see we're missing the light up front because we have a special part we're going to be installing on that, but what we'll do is go ahead and line this up with all the holes here, the white clips, one by one, going through to make sure that all of them are clipped in. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is attach our inner fender liner after we install our brand new surprise part up front here. If you were to get these right from us, you'd be done with the installation right now. You just have to put a couple tabs in for that inner fender liner and you're good to go. All right guys, we just finished the installation of these Rubicon fender flares on our 2020 Willys, and also we added in the Rugged Ridge DRL chop up front there. Now if you just bought a set of Rubicon flares, I highly doubt that you're going to be installing this. However, if you've got a set of halogen Rubicon flares, this is definitely a great upgrade for you. Even if you've got LEDs and you want to get some more clearance, definitely good to add those on. But to start with, if you've got a Sport, a Willys, or a Sahara, definitely look at these Rubicon flares to add onto your Jeep, as they're going to increase your clearance by over 2 inches, allow for a much larger tire and articulation for out on the trail, and they just look more aggressive. I love the way that this pokes up, and these Rubicon fender flares, as well as the Rugged Ridge DRL chop brackets and light, are available right here at cjponyparts.com.